Hello and welcome back to the Super Subjects podcast, episode 7, lucky number 7 for us. How have we been, gentlemen?
Not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good also, lucky.
Yep, had a great weekend, enjoyed football thoroughly.
Indeed. The Premier League has been back.
Gives us plenty to talk about, that's for sure. A bit more than the old Interval.
We know you're not a fan, don't worry, mate.
Who is?
True. But yeah, there's been sort of a bit of a weird turnaround with games. Might as well start with the obvious big Sam, big result.
Massive result, where they're a bit too late, I think.
Yeah, I think so also.
It's just a standard Saturday lunchtime, isn't it? Where it just seems to go against the script of what you're expecting. The Chelsea take the lead and you're like, well, this is what I'm expecting and they'll probably go on to win the game quite comfortably. Then all of a sudden, Thiago Silva gets a second yellow for a ridiculous tackle. And then West Brom just play absolutely class. And in fairness to Pereira, I said he wouldn't get into a lot of Premier League teams, but he's their best player. He showed us a glimpse of what the hype is about him. Like, he had a really good game. And Callum Robinson, he scored 5 goals this season, and all 5 goals have been against Chelsea.
Blimey.
He must love playing against them.
Couple of really nice finishes from him as well.
Yeah, all their goals were decent finishes, to be fair.
Yeah, his little chip was nice. I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well.
But they haven't let a goal in. They've kept 7 clean sheets in a row. And then all of a sudden, the team that are second bottom of the league, who've hardly won a game all season, just go ahead and score 5 goals against them. I know they had 10 men, but that's not an excuse. Still shouldn't be letting 5 goals in against anyone if you're Chelsea.
No, they just capitulated, didn't they? Thiago Silva was just back in the side and far too keen to try and do everything and just completely screwed his own side over, to be honest. It's just, for a man that's so experienced, it's strange. But as you say, to collapse in that manner is not going to be looked at very well, and Mr. Thomas is not going to be very happy with that at all, and understandably so. But what a game to start us off.
Did you boys hear about Rudiger?
Oh yeah, little dust up.
Yeah, because he didn't play though, did he?
No, they trained on Sunday, didn't they, as well?
Is that when he got sent home, or was that previous?
Yeah, I think it was Sunday. I'm sure TalkSport said this morning that it was Sunday. Maybe it was the players obviously didn't play too much, maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, he had a bit of a scuffle, didn't they? And then he got ejected from training. Like a naughty boy.
He's got himself in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, he had a fight with one of his own players, apparently.
Yeah, Kepa, I think they had a bit of a Barney.
Oh, was it Kepa?
Just a little bit of a naughty tackle, but I think it was Gabriel Bonjour, and he said, well, that's nothing really. I don't know why that's come out, because they used to happen twice a week back at Villa.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, like, it's just people making a bit more of a mountain because of the result, I suppose.
Well, yeah, it's one of them. There's a leak inside the club, obviously, that's leaked it out.
I can understand why someone would want to crunch Gabriel Bonjour a couple of times a week as well in training, to be fair.
Not a fan.
Not really. But I just can't. Like, when I was looking at Chelsea's recent fixtures, and I see they kept clean sheets against Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds, twice against Atletico Madrid, and then you're like, those teams, they score goals a lot, and you've kept clean sheets against all of them. Then all of a sudden, and it's pretty much one half of football, because it's a couple of the goals were in injury time in the first half, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So over a period of about 50 minutes, you've just decided to let 5 in. And I think they've been nervously looking over the shoulder now.
You reckon it was complacency?
I don't know what it was, to be honest. It's hard to explain. Because even when, you think, with 10 men, West Brom might get a point, you don't see them going on to score 5 goals.
No.
They've only scored 25 goals this season in 30 games. And 8 of them are against Chelsea. They just love playing Chelsea, clearly.
Yeah, after that result, as you say, they literally like a different team second half. They weren't anything like the West Brom or a big Sam team that we'd known before. And for Chelsea's collapse, it just as soon as that game finished, I was like, is this going to be another sort of weird turning point in the season for some clubs?
I think for West Brom, especially with other results over the weekend that we'll touch on, I think it's a little bit too late. But for Chelsea, I think it's definitely a damaging result.
Yeah, it could be massive.
They're 8 points behind with 8 games to go. Well, you don't know what this could do for their confidence.
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly.
But, like, obviously, you expect, and you know that the teams above them, some of them have to get points because they've got to play each other.
Yeah.
But they're going to look at that and think, well, why can't we do that every week? And let's just say, hypothetically, they get 4 wins out of 8. That's probably still not going to be enough, but it gives them a squeak. A little squeak.
Yeah, it gives them just a little bit of hope.
Another thing that you got to maybe take into consideration is that they can pretty much play without any pressure, because worst case scenario, they're down in what most people think that they are anyway. So,
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying they're going to stay up, because I don't think they will.
No, I don't.
But just the confidence that they can take from that result could lift them massively. I mean, if you're scoring 5 goals against a team that have kept 7 clean sheets in all competitions prior to that game, you think you can score goals against anybody.
Yeah.
If you've got that confidence. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they get on at the weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, stranger things have happened in football. Let's just say that anyway.
Who have they got at the weekend?
Southampton.
Well, see, that's a winnable game. Well, you would think so, but
I think now, after that result, they'll be ruining the matches where they had loads of chances and failed to win them.
Yeah.
So, because they'll be thinking, oh, actually, we can compete. And they've not really shown that. They've been in games and had chances and missed them and dropped points that they perhaps should have had. I remember there was one game they had so many chances and they didn't win it. And you think, well, you're just not good enough, are you? And then they go and do that. It's just another funny result this season's thrown up. And no one would have expected that.
Go back to Pereira. Do you think if they do go down, he'll get a move?
It's hard to say because it was one performance, but if he'd definitely have a chance. See how he plays for the rest of the season.
He's done well for West Brom, but I don't think he's done it consistently enough to earn a move anywhere else, unless he's happy to go to Palace or somewhere like that and try and make a name for himself, or just be sort of a squad player. But I can imagine West Brom will want to keep hold of him with the intention that they're going to go down to get back up again, because he's probably going to do quite well in the Championship, isn't he? So,
be a new manager there, surely, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I think I read that Big Sam's staying there either way.
Is he?
But
that
yeah,
surprises me.
Yeah, I think that was maybe agreed. I can't remember where I saw that, but yeah.
I thought he'd be leaving the last game of the season, so he didn't have that on his record. Never being relegated from the Prem.
Nah, I think unfortunately he's gone one step too far. Should we head to Ellen Road?
Oh, why not? More good news for us.
Wonderful news.
Yeah, like it was a comfortable win. We scored an easy goal in the first half through Jack Harrison, tap in. Like Rafinha, good bit of skill, plays it across to him. Happy days. And then just before half time, Leeds do what Leeds do best. Like we don't keep clean sheets. That's why you'll never see me predict us to keep a clean sheet in the predictions, because I just don't think we can. So yeah, they got their goal, bit sloppy. But then second half, we go straight back in front. I know, fair play to Phil Jagielka, still getting to play in the Premier League at his age. He's had a right career. Unfortunately for him, he ended up slotting in his own goal. And yeah, we had some more chances. Ramsdale had a good game. I still think it was a pretty comfortable win. And I'll definitely take it, as our next run of fixtures is not great.
Yeah, you got a lot of tough game.
I'm not expecting much to be excited about for the rest of the season, but you never know. I mean, we've got Man City this weekend, and I've got a feeling they're going to absolutely trounce us. And it's the only but I can give. It's on Saturday lunchtime, and we all know what happens Saturday lunchtime. Expect the unexpected.
I thought Jack Harrison had a good game. Rafinha again obviously had a good game.
I wasn't as frustrated as normal. I watch it and the passing's sloppy, and it wasn't as sloppy, but I don't know whether that's because the opponent was just a lot weaker. It was a lot easier. They didn't really threaten us either. But yeah, the wingers, they played well. I could understand why he brought Bamford off, as much as I love him. It was good to bring Rodrigo on and keep the wingers, because they were having the most effect on the game. But that's it for Sheffield United now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was it for them a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just nice that we didn't give them any hope.
Oh, I don't think even if they had beat you, I think if it's too late for West Brom, it's definitely too late for them. I'll be interested to see if they stick with their manager.
Nah, they'll get someone else in.
I think they will as well.
But saying that, he did okay in the Championship. I remember he was at Barnsley when they were in League One, and he did a good job there. He come to Leeds and he got replaced by Bielsa. And any manager in the Championship is going to be replaced if Bielsa comes in. So it's hard to say how he would have done with us. But I don't know. They might give him a chance, but maybe they'll be looking elsewhere as well. I don't think we can rule it out that he'll stay.
I think it depends on what they want to do, whether they want to fork out to get a new manager in, or whether they want to strengthen the squad, prioritise that. I don't know really.
Well, I don't think they've invested well this season, have they?
No, I mean the money that they did spend, they haven't spent very wisely.
Yeah, which may lead to be a problem for them. Well, I don't think they're going to recoup the money for Brewster they spent. Didn't they spend loads on McBurney as well?
Yeah.
And they're not bad footballers, but
they're not Premiership footballers.
No, well they might be in a few seasons, but now they've clearly shown that they can't do the business in the Premier League. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see how they get on. They won't be in the Premier League next season. We know that.
No, but good win for you boys. But an expected win, I would say.
Yeah, and in the next 3 games, if we even get a point, I'll be happy. Man City, Man United, and Liverpool. I'm not expecting a lot out of that.
Yeah, but you held your own against them. Well, not so much United, but City and Liverpool earlier in the season, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
we got a point against City.
That's it. So
but I think that might be even more to our downfall because they might want revenge.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking for revenge on us.
Well, another City away game and another City away result for them at Leicester. I think that's 13 on the bounce, was it? Away results, away wins.
They just love winning, don't they?
Yeah, the machine just keeps on going.
Only conceded 8, goal difference of 22. It's just ridiculous. I didn't think they did anything special. They were good as usual, and probably justice played out right in the result. But I don't think Leicester did too much. I think I saw at half time just before that Ederson had more touches than Jamie Vardy. I know obviously Ederson touches the ball a lot, but I think he had like 4 touches in half an hour. Yeah,
but he did score just before half time, didn't he?
Yeah,
but it was offside.
Yeah.
But it was a comfortable performance.
Even on the breakdown after the game, I think they said before when they did the comparison of the game previous where Leicester managed to get a draw. The stats were pretty much the same, i.e. possession, shots, etc. But City were just a lot more patient this time. They just didn't. They knew that they were in no rush whatsoever, and just completely just waiting for the right moment. Just looked so comfortable. Seeing out the result.
What a goal by Mendy as well.
I was just about to say 2 quality goals as well.
Yeah, that Kevin De Bruyne pass is
Kevin De Bruyne pass.
Yeah. I thought they almost fluffed it up between Jesus and Sterling, but they got there in the end.
Yeah, well, Sterling looked like he was he'd completely missed a chance for the shot.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't take that.
In the back of his mind, he knew Jesus was there and obviously just passed it to him. He recovered it well, to be honest.
Jesus is a funny one, isn't it? I can't decide my opinion on Jesus, to be honest.
Well, going by Pep, they're not going to buy a striker.
Well, I don't necessarily believe that, but
no, of course not. But you can't really go out and say that and say that you can't compete with the money. How many goals has he scored this year, Jesus?
He doesn't score loads, does he?
No. So he scored 8 in the Premier. He scored 8 in the Premier League.
8, yeah, I suppose. But then when you're a striker playing in a Man City team, but they do share their goals around, don't they? So.
Yeah, they'll just put De Bruyne up front and then still score 4. So.
Or they'll have Sterling at number 9.
Or a Foden.
Yeah.
They've got so many options, and they, if their number 9 isn't firing, then you're getting goals from your midfield, your defence, your wingers. They haven't got to worry about it, have they?
No.
I'll tell you who's worrying. Arsenal fans yet again. Fuck my life.
I can't help but laugh. I'm sorry.
The disrespect you showed is outrageous.
I can't understand. I know it's obviously mind games, but the Klopp has said Arsenal are playing the best football in the Premier League at the moment, which is not true. I'm not saying Arsenal have been playing bad football, but they haven't been playing the best football in the league.
Not even been playing good football. They've been playing terrible football.
No, but at times you like the performance in the second half versus West Ham was really good.
Yeah, but that's not a 45-minute spell. What do you want? Klopp is just talking utter rubbish.
Well, from what I watched, it was absolute rubbish. Yeah.
Once again, bunch of useless idiots doing naffle to try and get a result. Showed no character, no leadership, no determination. It was almost as if it was just not even playing for the manager or the fans. It's happened so many times over the course of a handful of seasons, and it's quite like disheartening to see from the players in your club that there's just no effort whatsoever. Liverpool could have been there for the taking, but once again, we just do not show up and just sick to death. I literally got nothing else to say after this. Just sick to death of the same crap going on for whatever reason at our club, and we just go on the merry-go-round and they expect just to hop on and off when it suits, and it's just horrible, really. I don't know where we go from here yet again.
It's surprising though, because your squad's not bad at all. Like your squad's good enough to be competing for Europe, definitely. Like the individual talent that you have.
It's just character. Again, there's just no characters there to get your team going. Even as a professional footballer playing for Arsenal, doesn't seem any motivation. The body language is terrible. I don't know why, as Brett has touched on before, we can't start games in any good manner on the front foot. You would think that would bring a positive mentality to the game if you started off well, and then you wouldn't be so concerned or be so hesitant or be lacking motivation if you've got your team on the front foot playing well, winning tackles, crisp passing. You'd be happy and you'd maybe get beaten the game a bit more. But just to start so jaded and lack of effort is probably half the reason. And I know Miguel will come out and say, or he has said, that he's to blame, which I know, of course, he is probably partly to blame, but there's only so much you can do when you've got 11 players showing 50% effort and doing jack shit on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's not like it was a weak starting lineup either, was it? It's probably not the strongest team you could put out, but like attacking wise, it's the strongest team apart from Saka.
Weirdly, yeah, we missed a few energetic players.
Tierney had to come off, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna be out for a while.
That's a big loss.
I think Partey likes playing with Xhaka. That also maybe played on his mind a little bit. So again, it's a new club, not playing with someone that you've played with too much or you're not necessarily too keen on playing with. You're probably not going to put in your best performance. So I don't know. Even at the back, we looked very, very shady.
I was angry 5 minutes in. 5 minutes it took. We were just so deep. We had 11 football players on the pitch that were scared. And that's the end of that is the full stop. They were scared to play. It was like the football was a hot potato. When they did finally get the ball, they could be bothered to close down, whether they're tired or what. I don't want any of that excuses. There was no pressing at all. Just let Thiago and Fabinho run the game. And Lacazette was playing us he didn't even touch our half. So then when we did finally get a touch of the ball, we had no one to pass it to, so we just hoofed it upfield to their centre-backs and they started it again. It was just a repetitive cycle. Danny Ceballos is an absolute waste of a footballer. He tries to look all pretty on the ball and then just does nothing but give the ball away and put the team in trouble. How many times a player under 6 foot wants to get a free header in our penalty box this season when Rob Holding's there is beyond me. First it was Sterling and now it's Jota.
What do you think about the Liverpool performance?
Liverpool were outstanding. The break obviously did them a world of good. I don't know how many players went away for international break, but one player that absolutely destroyed us was Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he was superb on the day.
He was. That cross for the first goal was quality.
I wouldn't say outstanding. We were just that bad. They didn't need to do anything. They didn't need to get out of second or third gear, let's be honest.
No, but they definitely upped their performance from what they have been doing previously. That's definite. You can't take that away from them. They have outperformed their previous performances.
I just think we made it far too easy.
We did make it easy for them, though.
That's what I'm saying. Didn't need to move out of gear. But yeah, I mean, until Jota come on and score the goal, though. All right, they were on top of the game, but they didn't massively tear us apart, I wouldn't say. We were bad and very deep and very negative. But
they always looked more likely, didn't they?
Yeah, but of course, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They were, because of how negative we were, that's ultimately going to mean they're going to look more positive, and they were always on the front foot where we were never on the front foot. So
surely that comes down to the manager.
you would assume so. But then how many times have we seen it where we've played bigger teams and got result playing that way?
It's not sustainable, is it?
No. But we can't perform.
He can't come out in a pre-match interview and say that we're going to release the handbrake and then give that kind of performance.
Then either he's lying just to give the fans what they want and what they want to hear, or if it's just completely gone, the players have just not done anything. They either don't understand, don't know what they're doing, going against it. But until something comes out and we know why or what or how, then what can we say? All I'm saying is that we played that way before against teams, and we've ultimately won the FA Cup playing that way. So somewhere down the line, I know we have to look at every aspect, and that everyone down the line deserves to be looked at and criticised and pulled apart for it. But as you said, the lack of positive attitude and sitting deep comes from every player. There was no one trying to get us up the field, and for 11 players to be on that pitch and not one of them really to be trying to do anything to change the outcome of the game or the tempo of the game just shows again a lack of character in the whole squad. So I don't know. I'm not saying Mikel's not to blame, because there's already, for some reason, it didn't go to plan.
Them stats comparing him with the last two interested me after the game.
Yeah, it's there to see for everyone, really.
What do we think of Liverpool's Champions League chances now? I mean, that will do their confidence a world of good. And looking at their running,
I think they'll finish in the top four.
You think they'll finish above Chelsea now?
It depends on Chelsea.
Well, they're 2 points behind.
Yeah.
Goal difference is pretty similar as well, isn't it?
Yeah. The only hard game they've got is United, really.
Is that at home or away?
That is away. But you'd expect them to be winning six games out of that, probably 6 or 7 out of 8.
Only if they keep up playing well, because
Yeah.
they've not been at all very good this season.
The only thing I would say is their games that they've struggled this season is when teams have just sat deep against them. So them winnable games that you're on about, probably all of them teams are going to not come out so much.
And do any of those teams really need the 1 point, i.e. Fulham, Newcastle, Burnley,
West Brom? They're all going to have to go for it.
Not necessarily.
They're going to want the points, aren't they?
You're going to take a point against Liverpool all day long if you're fighting for relegation.
Yeah, I guess. But I think with that result, probably do their confidence a bit of good.
Yeah, both ends now looking quite lively. I think Spurs have fucked it.
Yeah, well, that game yesterday.
That was a big result for both, good and bad.
Yeah, I watched Match of the Day earlier, number 2, caught up on all the little buys, and our 4 million man, Joel Linton, probably had the best game of his life.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
We must have inspired him into form. He must have listened to the podcast thinking, fuck you lot.
No, he still missed an absolute sitter, mate.
I didn't criticise him, just saying. I'm one up for the guy.
He weren't great. He scored a goal, yes. He missed a sitter. Don't start sticking up for him because he scored 1 goal.
He kept it alive for the second goal.
Well, yeah, but he still missed an absolute sitter. So I'm guessing neither of you watched the game.
Not live, no.
No, I didn't watch it live.
Well, I watched the first half, and Newcastle started on the front foot, played well, got themselves a goal. And you're like, oh, this is going to be an interesting game. A minute and a half later, Newcastle Tottenham at the other end scoring.
Oh yeah, that was clammy.
And then 4 minutes later, they're 2-1 up, and you're like, well, you know where this is going. But Newcastle managed to finally get an equaliser at the end. Like, I looked at the stats, and they fully deserved a result, if not a win. It's just interesting because you don't expect Newcastle to go on and rectify going 2-1 behind against Spurs. You think, right, Spurs are the stronger team. They're going to go on to win this game. But to Newcastle's credit, they kept themselves in the game and then got the point.
Yeah, against them as West Brom, we see whether they can sort of kick on. Whoever's going to pick up a bit more form, pick up a few more points than the others, obviously is going to pip it to the post. I mean, so let's wait and see.
I see Jose throw his players under the bus again.
Yep, not without actually saying it. I don't know how many times the guy wants to keep doing it. Is he going to be surprised that his players are just going to keep half-heartedly playing when he keeps slightly calling them out and not actually just saying how he feels?
Yeah.
Well, it's not actually specifically aimed at one player, or okay, you're not going to do that unless he's saying it in the dressing room. But if you're listening to that and you're Son, or even any of the better players, Højbjerg, and you're not being pinpointed out who is actually aimed at, then you're going to be thinking, well, if that's aimed at me, why am I going to bother? So
Son didn't even start yesterday, did he?
No, come off. I know he's not been fit as he's coming back from injury.
Yeah, but yeah, it's Jose same coach, different players. It's just like it's just too big for his own boots sometimes. Guy needs to just take it down or not.
You must have loved the fact Joe Willock scored.
I know Joe Willock certainly loved it.
Doing bits, the Arsenal players doing bits for, still doing bits against Tottenham, and they're not even playing for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Talking of fuck ups, Fulham also just completely went out of the bottom three, and then back into it within the space of half an hour.
That was. I didn't watch the game. I watched a bit of the first half, but when I turned it back on, it was 1-0 to Fulham. And literally, as I sat down, Aston Villa just started an absolute rout. Trezeguet with 2 goals, Watkins with another, and like we've all been saying, Fulham played good football, got a chance of staying up, and these last 2 results, they're going to have to probably start questioning themselves now. Like, you can't be putting yourself in a position with 15 minutes left to take a massive 3 points and then just absolutely collapse like that.
No.
Because you won't stay in the Premier League if you do.
Villa were all right. They weren't great.
No, they weren't great. The sub changed the game. Trezeguet coming on did really well. But yeah, as soon as Fulham conceded the equaliser, you just knew that Villa were just going to go on and score another one.
Yeah.
Aston Villa are just so inconsistent, aren't they? So like,
Yeah.
when I saw it was 1-0, I wasn't surprised. I just thought, oh, this is just Aston Villa, what they're like now.
Yeah.
But then to see them turn it around like that, you've got to give them credit. I still think Europe's a long way off for them now, but they'll take confidence from that, definitely.
But Fulham didn't really create much, did they? Their goal came from a Mings error, didn't it?
Yeah, and then he set up the second one, didn't he?
And then he set out the second one, yeah.
Little cross into the box. We should take him to the Euros as a winger. He
Why
did us
not?
in the balls like that. They deserved it, I think, the all-round play, but Fulham really can't be throwing that away.
No, I mean, I think it would have been viewed as a bonus points, if you get what I mean. I don't think going to Villa, they could have expected much, because I think there are more winnable games on the horizon. But yeah, any point counts, especially when they know Newcastle have got a result as well.
Yeah, and even West Brom behind them, even though they're still obviously a few points behind them, but that will still be in the back of their minds, that all the teams around them picking up points. But another team around them who played really well in the first half yesterday and then unfortunately didn't hold on was Brighton. Did either of you watch that?
I watched the first half.
So for the first 10 minutes, Man United pretty much got Brighton boxed in their own half. Then out of absolutely nowhere, Welbeck scores, and you're like, okay, this might be another, not a shocking result, but a surprise. And their first half performance, they played well. And United weren't really in it. They didn't really create a lot.
No.
Coming from behind again, how has Harry Maguire gotten away with another one?
I have no idea how he's got away with that.
How was VAR not even just, how has he gotten away with that? Or waving your finger directly after. Does that not just say guilty?
He got away with it because he came out in an interview earlier in the season to say VAR don't give him decisions.
Yeah. I think, is it one of them ones where, because it hasn't given, they can't then sort of say it's an error because it's not clear and obvious? Oh, I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Is that not clear and obvious?
Apparently not. But, I mean, he's goal side. If he touches him at all, which it's clearly obvious that he touches him in many ways, just not in the wrong way.
But, I was like, where are we going with this?
He's not goal side. He's completely the wrong side. You can't touch him.
No.
If he touches him, then it's a penalty. And he touches him, and it's not a penalty. It's just another joke.
But it goes back to, I mean, even pre-VAR, some teams get them decisions, some don't.
Yeah. Everyone said if it's the other way around, that's Rashford going down.
Yeah.
We know what's coming. It's just frustrating, as is.
Just though it shows, doesn't it? Even with VAR, you're still going to get inconsistencies.
Yeah, certainly. The people behind VAR are going to have a lot to look into and to make it right. And I think it's going to be a good few seasons before we see it properly being tweaked the way it should be. But then, as we touched on quite early on, referees are sort of trusting in it maybe a little bit too much. And if that's not getting it right and they're not getting it right, they all just look fucking silly. So,
But I mean, you have got to give United some credit. I mean,
I suppose
they do always find a way to come back, don't they?
they do. I mean, Bruno did all right. Rashford had quite a tidy finish, to be fair. I think Brighton gave it away, didn't they? I think United won it back, and then they went up the end. Again, the sloppy goal for Greenwood from Brighton's perspective, but I suppose you'd be a bit of luck, and there we go.
Did I read Martial's out for the season?
Apparently, yeah. I think it's a knee brace. I saw on Instagram or Twitter, one of them.
Oh, really? That could potentially be a blow with them still in Europe as well.
Oh my God! Have you got the Wolves game on?
I have.
Have you just seen the goal?
I have.
Oh my God!
Your mate.
My mate Lingard has just run from his own half.
What a goal.
Oh, good job I didn't put a Wolves defender in my fantasy football, eh?
You're still doing that?
Just because you're down the bottom,
I haven't even looked at it.
your co-management team has let you down.
Oh, he's probably looked at it. Yeah, he's probably making stupid transfers.
You probably just got double point.
I don't know.
I missed the corker of the game on early Sunday, actually. I was quite
Yeah, I
excited.
missed it as well.
Yeah, it was an awesome game.
Yeah,
on
Saints
Match of the
Burnley
Day.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd written that off as a poor draw, and look what happened.
Uh-huh.
Good turnaround from the Saints.
Yeah, definitely.
When I first looked, they were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And then the Ings and Redmond show started. 1 goal, 1 assist each. They'll be happy with that as well, because their form, like at the start of the season, they were top of the league for a while, weren't they? And then they just completely dropped off. But they'll be happy with a comeback like that, and they'll be hoping to have a better run in for the rest of the season, give them a bit of confidence going into next.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very streaky side, aren't they, Southampton? They'll go on a big winning run, and then they'll lose a load in a row.
Yeah, Burnley don't score too many goals, especially not 2, and they're definitely gonna rue that. You see, our mate James Ward-Prowse smash the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was unlucky, to be fair.
it was.
I think they were all convinced he went over the line. Yeah, I'll go back. I hope he does go to the Euros. Just offer something different, especially if we're thinking that Trent isn't going, which I suppose we can touch on after. But if Trent isn't, then I really just hope that we've got someone who can sort of at least take a set piece.
What do you mean? Calvin Phillips?
No,
Oh, dear. What was that all about?
I don't know, but it was funny. I couldn't believe it because every time I watch Leeds, I'm just like, please have Rafinha on corners and free kicks, not Phillips. And then I'll see him, and he's taking the corners. He must be doing something in training that impresses people because I don't ever see it.
Does he take him for Leeds?
He does sometimes, yeah. He did last season, but like Rafinha sometimes does now. So
Right.
he doesn't always. But I couldn't believe it. It's like, first of all, he's played more minutes than anyone else for England in the World Cup qualifiers. And then he's on free kick duty. I just couldn't believe it. It's made me laugh. I was just like, get Foden on them corners. And then he takes one and we score from it.
Do you think that changes Southgate's mind on Trent? Do you think he was just trying to give him a kick up the arse? Or do you think Southgate was just wrong altogether?
Did you see the Carragher-Neville debate earlier?
Nah, I didn't.
If you get a second, have a look at it there. To say that they clashed would be an understatement.
Oh.
I don't know. It's a difficult one.
What was their side? I assume Carragher was for.
Trent going, yeah.
Yeah. And Neville was not, or was he just sort of doing
Neville
it to
was-
wind him up?
Well, no, Neville was saying if you, for example, if England were in the semi-final of the competition,
Yeah.
he wants a right back that he can trust defensively.
That's why he take 2.
And that's why he's saying he'd start Trippier.
I wouldn't even start Trippier. I'd play Kyle Walker as right
Yeah,
back.
same.
The man has got buckets of trophies. He's got so much experience. He's been to tournaments. If anything, John Stones needs a bit of confidence. If you put them two together, surely that's only going to benefit England.
I just can't look beyond Trent's talent. Like we said last
Trent should
week,
go, like I say, 100.
like he's 100% in the squad for me. And if Gareth doesn't make that call, then I will question Gareth Southgate's selections. I don't think you can justify leaving out a Premier League winner. Yes, he's had a little bit of bad form, but this weekend he's come out and said, well, look at me. You don't think I'm good enough? But he is good enough. We all know that.
Yeah. As I say, he's just going forward effectively, as we saw against Arsenal. The guy can pick a pass. Like, it's just none of our other right backs can do that as well as him.
I'm sorry, but he's better going forward than Reece James.
Yeah. I don't see Reece James going, but then again, this is one of those positions, the same as obviously Grealish, Saka, Foden kind of debate which one of those 3 or 2 is going to go. But anyway, in terms of right backs, I honestly don't know who he's going to choose. He likes Trippier, so I think he's one that will go. But who, if you're taking Walker,
but he's taking Trippier as a squad player. I don't think he's taking Trippier to start. He's taking him in case he needs that experience. But like,
I think Walker starts, doesn't he? I
hope so.
Yeah, I think so. But I want Trent. I want to see the talent. I don't want to see it wasted.
Trent over Walker.
Well, it depends what game, but in some games, definitely.
Croatia.
I'd probably go Walker for Croatia. Not because I wouldn't trust Trent defensively, but just being the first game, and you just want to have that experience. And as I say, I'd like John Stones not to overthink what's happened. If he's not going to get too much more game time, I want that to be solid. I don't want any, just rather get a result, get it done. If we need Trent to come on, then maybe he's there, and we can go 5 at the back, and then we can just stick Trent out on the right, and he can just swing crosses in all day.
I thought Stones reacted well, actually.
Yeah, fair play to him. But again, tough debate that I'm sure
we'll get into. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Lingard's just scored a very good goal, so it's going to just add more to the works.
I can't wait for the outrage when he goes and Grealish doesn't. Cannot wait.
Well, they're talking about 25 man squad now, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, but he doesn't want that, does he? Gareth's not a fan of it. He wants 23.
I don't see how that makes any difference to him. I don't know why. Did he come out and say that?
Yeah.
Well, then he's an idiot.
It'd be interesting with Southgate because a lot of England managers in the past have gone on names. I'm not sure he's going to go on names this time.
I would prefer if Saka didn't go.
I would prefer that as well.
Not purely because obviously he'd rest, but I'd much prefer Foden and Grealish and even Sancho to go.
But one article I saw is Grealish and Sancho both to miss out.
Yeah, that was on Sky.
And I'm just thinking...
I'm not sure what that was about. Not sure
I'm just hoping that was like an April Fool's or something, because you can't be leaving our better players at home just because they've had an injury and that, they're going to have game time. I would understand you're not taking them fit if they're not fit.
Yeah, of course. Grealish played the other games, didn't he? He was the best player against Belgium.
Yeah.
And he would have, even if he'd have played, he probably would have been the best again. I don't really doubt that. So, as Brett said, the uproar that's coming, it's going to be nothing like we've seen before. We all think we're better than Gareth Southgate, and not necessarily we're all going to be right. But let's see.
But in reality, we're probably not going to win the Euros.
Apparently we're joint.
Yeah, but we're always up there. What actually happens is completely different. I'd love to see us win it, but I don't think we will. So whatever decision he makes, he's going to be criticised for, isn't he? One way or the other.
To be fair, if there's a year that England are going to win it, it's going to be the 2020-21 sort of season as such, because of how bad the world has been to us all. And this could be the kind miracle that the world brings to us.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think, are you waiting for sort of going to start making any decisions soon about what they're doing, or are you just going to let everyone know one day before Turkey Italy kicks off?
Yeah.
I just hope you've got some tickets through the post before then, mate.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I've been looking. We've still got our tickets for the semi-final. Haven't taken them away from us yet, so
that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I think didn't they say that they're expecting 60-odd thousand for the last stages? So
are they?
Is it 10,000 for the first game? So
they're having 8,000 for the Carabao Cup game at the end of this month, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's it. To be fair, I just need to get my vaccine. This round I'm going nowhere.
Yeah, me and Brett will be all right. You'll have to give us some tickets and we'll find some vaccinated people to come with us.
I don't know if I should be sort of pursuing it or I don't know. We'll just wait for the government. But I
think you just wait, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't pursue it, mate. They won't just do it.
I'll be like, well, I've got England and Croatia to attend. So.
Exactly.
Oh, I've just
Well-
been diagnosed with diabetes out of nowhere. I need my vaccine now.
Have you seen this beer, Billy? Come on, jab it.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That's the
We've got
Heineken,
a lot
not
to look forward
diabetes.
to. That is the Heineken, yeah.
I can't wait for Heineken at Wembley.
Well, it's not long, mate.
The official partner of UEFA, if they're listening.
Yeah, make sure you're selling it and selling it in barrels.
So, first feature, Stephen Lockwood.
Yeah, that time again, my favourite time of the week. And this week, I've not touched on this position yet. But when we're talking about Leeds United legends, this man has to be included. And the man is Nigel Martin. Nigel Martin signed for Leeds in 1996 and spent 7 seasons at the club. He made 207 Premier League appearances for Leeds, and that is even without playing a game in his final season when Paul Robinson was brought into the first team. For 6 seasons, he was a mainstay in the Leeds team, and this is when we were at our peak. His solid performances between the sticks led us to the semi-finals of UEFA Cup and Champions League, and you could always rely on Nigel Martin for stability in goal. Although Nigel never won a Premiership medal at Leeds, he was named the best goalkeeper in Leeds history at a supporters' dinner, and he was also named in Leeds United's greatest ever team in the year 2006. He was the only player involved in that team who wasn't from the Don Revie era. That alone shows how respected and loved Nigel Martin was from the Leeds fans and the club. And since I've been a Leeds fan, we have had some dodgy goalkeepers. But Nigel Martin was far from that. He was quality. He was an England international, and I believe he was really unfortunate that there was a better goalkeeper around at the time who represented Arsenal and played for Leeds at youth, that David Seaman. Because I think Nigel would have actually been number 1 for England in his time as well. But yeah, that's it. Nigel Martin this week. Absolute legend once again. And like, I think goalkeepers may be more boring position, but this guy was quality. I love watching him.
Yeah, he was a good goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Yeah, solid.
And did you know? So when I do this, I do a little bit of research, and I found out that he was actually a midfielder until he was, I think he was 17.
Really?
Yeah, as a youth, he was a midfielder, and then they put him in goal. And then a few years later, he signed for Crystal Palace. I think it was first goalkeeper to be sold for over $1 million, and then his career just went on from there. And I felt a bit sorry for him getting ousted out of the team. I mean, no disrespect to Paul Robinson because he was class, but Nigel never really let us down. And he went on to play for Everton and made loads of appearances for them in the Premier League. So he obviously still had it.
He didn't really make many mistakes, did he? He was very solid.
Yeah, he was quality.
Yeah, like you say, he probably was unlucky that Seaman was about at the time.
Yeah, he was. Because he still played 23 times for England over
I was going to say, he got a
few
few
years.
caps, didn't he? Yeah, he got a few caps.
Yeah, but he was never going to get in over David Seaman, was he? Let's be honest.
No.
But to be voted into the greatest Leeds team of all time, and to be the only player that wasn't from the Don Revie era to be in it, that just says so much about Nigel Martin and how good he was for us.
Yeah.
And obviously, he, like most of the legends I've talked about so far, had a massive impact on us getting to the UEFA Cup and Champions League semi-finals. But that's why they're legends, and he played his part in that.
Important part being a goalie. You don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't. You don't want an unreliable one, that's for sure.
No, there's plenty of them around. As I said, we've had plenty of them since.
Yeah.
Did he move on to Everton, did you say?
Yeah.
Martin played a few seasons for Everton.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it wasn't like he was finished after we got rid of him. I think that he had a dispute with the manager, and then Paul Robinson got brought in, and then that was sort of it for him playing for us.
Was that O'Leary?
No, Howard Wilkinson, I believe. No, it wasn't Howard Wilkinson. It was Terry Venables. Howard Wilkinson signed him. That's a few years out as well. Whoops. They had a disagreement about something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Don't know what that rings a bell. Weird.
But yeah, he went on to make 86 appearances for Everton.
I think I remember signing him once on Championship Manager.
Yeah, probably being really happy about it.
Can't remember back then, but yeah, I'd hope so.
I've just signed one of the top goalies in history.
That was a good one, mate.
Yeah, don't do too bad with Leeds goalkeepers.
They're all legends, mate. That's why.
Hope you can keep Melier and he can go on to be a legend.
Well, he's been linked with a move elsewhere.
Oh, was he already?
So, PSG, yeah.
Doesn't get into the France under 20 squads at the minute, does he? Bless him. They got so much good talent, haven't they, France? Bloody hell.
Yeah, they certainly do. But there you go. I don't know who I'm going to have next week. Probably, heads up, probably not going to be a goalkeeper.
Oh.
So there you go.
Talking of talent, who spread their predictions talent this week?
Oh, here we go. Right. So it's that
Come
time
on.
of the week.
Let's get this going.
Well, hang on a sec. Before you announce the
Oh,
results,
here we go.
Before you announce,
Can you let me talk first? I want to make an apology.
yeah, you better as well. You screwed half of us over.
Drum roll,
So-
please. The first ever Super Subjects apology.
So, due to my busy schedule,
Incompetencies.
yes, if you want to go that far, incompetencies, yeah. There was a slight issue with the release of the fixtures due to the fact that I put down that Lille were actually at home to PSG, when in fact it was the opposite way around. And as you're just about to find out, this does benefit one particular predictor. So it was my error and I apologise. I've been more...
I accept your apology and your honesty.
Thank
I don't
you.
think our resident host would ever think about apologising for anything on this show. So
No,
you are
takes a-
true gentlemen.
it takes a big man to apologise, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. So this week, as per usual, I'll start from the bottom. That brings me to you, I'm afraid, Liam.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, some of your bombastic predictions did kind of backfire on you, mate.
Well, you can't be solid every week.
No, you can't. So 2 points this week.
Oh, fucking hell. Right,
Next up,
Freddie did those.
oh, it's his fault. Don't
No
blame
more
a poor
chocolate for
defense.
Freddie.
Do not blame the poor defenseless child.
Right, this week I'm going in for this. Carry on, sir. Sorry.
All right, thank you. Next in, we've got a new entry. So I'd like to thank him for his entry. Denzel got 3 points.
Thank you, Denzel.
Next up is Sam and Tyler on 4. Next, Miles and Jordan on 5. Jordan not at the top this week. Very disappointing, I'm afraid.
Where are we, Brett? We're still not being mentioned yet.
Yeah, we're coming now. So it's
Yeah.
myself, Lockie, and Jace all on 7 points this week. And our winner this week on 11 points, would you believe it? Thanks to his Lille 1-0 correct score prediction. It's Johnny. So well done, Johnny.
Do you know what makes it a bit more bearable? He would
He
have
got-
won without that.
You
Yeah.
would have had 9, right? Yeah, so that's fine.
But we need to make sure we're getting this right, man. Because I can't be having him messaging me saying I'm going to get naked if Lille win 1-0 and then they win 1-0. I can't deal with it.
Yeah. I don't need to hear Lockie say the
No,
word naked again either.
No.
We apologise for that as well.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me after saying, "Get in, I'm getting naked." Nah, fair play to him. Though he had a good week, regardless of it. He got 8 points, but we'll call it 11 to make him feel better.
We
But we
it 11.
appreciate your entries for sure.
We will
Yeah.
call it 11.
Johnny, we do
Yeah.
not promote getting naked in any form.
No,
just for the
no,
record.
absolutely not. Right, so our overall totals, gents, the gap has closed a little bit. Liam is still in the lead on 43, Lockie on 40, and myself on 38. So I don't feel as bad at the moment.
Loads of room.
Loads of time
Liam's
left.
predictions this week were ridiculous, so we knew we were going to catch him up.
Well, yeah, he did do us a favour a little bit.
Leeds
Anyway.
0, Sheffield United 2. Yeah, all right, that's no points.
Anyway, moving on to this week, got a few corkers this week. I thought I'd liven it
Difficult,
up.
man.
Yeah, it's a difficult week this week, I think. So we got Man City at home to Leeds.
Are you sure?
Tough.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you, Liam. I apologise. Now let's move on, will we? Thank you very much, Mister. I've never made a mistake in my life.
Hey, I didn't beef you out, mate. I accepted your apology.
Yeah, and you're also having digs. Don't do digs.
Did it benefit anyone else?
No.
No one
Right,
else would
okay.
have predicted Lille.
No, but it's the way people just putting the numbers down.
He was the only one. I think.
Yeah, but
was
he
the
knew
only one.
PSG. He knew PSG were at home.
Well, he obviously did his research, didn't he?
Brilliant.
And for that and that alone, he deserves to win it this week.
Yeah, well done.
Anyway, carrying on. Liverpool at home to Aston Villa.
Are you sure?
El Gran Clasico, Real Madrid at home to Barcelona. Burnley at home to Newcastle. West Ham at home to Leicester. Spurs at home to Manchester United, and Sheffield United at home to the Arsenal. So, as per usual, I'll go first, then Lockie, then Liam. So, Lockie, I've gone for a 3-1 Man City win. I've gone for a 3-0 Liverpool win. I've actually gone for Barcelona to win 2-1 away at Real. 1-1 between Burnley and Newcastle. Same scoreline, West Ham Leicester. I've actually gone for Manchester United to nick a 2-1 win away at Spurs. And I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Sheffield United and Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Man City 4, Leeds 1.
Sorry, what did you say? Sorry, what was that?
No, I can't repeat it.
4-1?
Man City 4, Leeds 1.
Wow.
I hate saying it, lad, but you know, it's Saturday lunchtime as well, so it could be Man City 1, Leeds 4, but I'm going to stick with that. And it pains me to say because I don't want to see that, and I'll be very upset if that happens.
Don't forget
but, you know,
what
we're predicting, so that's what we're doing.
Right.
Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1. Burnley 1, Newcastle 1. West Ham 1, Leicester 2. Spurs 0, Man United 2. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3. They're my predictions.
What was that? Say the last one again.
Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3.
No,
you heard it.
You've clearly not watched us lately.
Oh, I've watched Sheffield United though, and I know what you're capable of. So that's what I'm going for.
And what was your Spurs score?
Losing 1-0.
Spurs 0, Man United 2. I will put it in the chat. I know I haven't put it in the chat yet, but I was leaving it as a surprise.
That's all right. I've just typed it. It's fine.
I couldn't bring myself to say the top one without like tears in my eyes.
Actually, can you put it in the chat so I have it in writing?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Manchester City 8. Oh,
8?
no, sorry. That's half of an 8. Manchester City 3, Leeds 0. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 1. We've all gone different. I've gone 2-2, El Clasico.
Oh, well, yeah.
We've all gone the same. Burnley 1, Newcastle 1. West Ham 0, Leicester 2. Spurs 1, United 1. Boring game. And Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 2.
Mm.
You know what? We've all got 1-1 Burnley and Newcastle, don't you?
Yep.
Because it's going to probably be the most boring game of the season.
Do you want to know why I went 1-1?
Probably because it's going to be boring.
Because I never predict 0-0, and I think it'll be a draw.
You know what though? It'd be like the Southampton Burnley game now, wouldn't it? Where you expect it to be a boring game, and it'd be like
4-4.
Burnley 5, Newcastle 6. Can't wait. Really looking forward to watching that one. I'm not going to lie.
Hat-trick.
Joelinton hat-trick, yeah.
Double hat-trick.
Love it.
So yeah, thanks again everyone for getting your entries in again this week. Feel free to get your new entries in. Try your luck. Denzel, expect to see an entry again from you this week, mate. So get your entries in, guys, and give you the results next week.
I just want to touch on something. I don't want to be too political, but I just want to bring up, now that it's come about, obviously, I don't know if you guys saw what happened with the Valencia game. I was going to say I'm not going to be too political because I haven't really got much to say on the matter, but I just think it's just, again, so sad that these things are still happening in the modern game and in front of our eyes on the telly.
It is sad, but what is good to see is people taking a stand to it. Like, they're not accepting it. They hear it and they're going off the pitch, which is how it should be. But there's absolutely no place for it in football, and anyone that thinks it's acceptable should not be allowed to play football professionally anymore.
Like you say, it's all well and good then coming off, but if they hadn't come back on, they'd have forfeited the match, right? So it's done them no favours, really. Okay, they've sort of made a bit of a stand, which absolutely fair play. It's those small steps that are needed. But I just think you have to start banning players and doing proper investigations into this type of stuff, because they're just getting away with it. And we've got young kids aspiring to be footballers, and the influence that they're having on the younger generation. If we can't make an example and punish these high-profile situations, why are we then surprised when we see it all over social media as well, with all these shadow accounts just calling out people. I think that Davidson Sanchez, I don't know if you guys saw that as well.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just utterly disgraceful. And if there's not a bigger platform than football to help us do something about this in the modern society, then where do we go? Because there's no backing, and they're trying to make a stand as they did, but then Diakabi's coming out and saying, "Well, guys, we're going to lose the match otherwise," and that the stand is sort of irrelevant to some degree. As it's the first step, which is great to see, but if each time this happens, they're losing faith in that nothing's going to be done, then it's just disheartening for the world to see. And Sanchez only got called out for maybe putting in a bad performance, and that's just not acceptable.
I think as a racist thing as a whole is something that society, we shouldn't be dealing with in society this day and age as a whole, really. I think you've got two separate problems, like you've just discussed. I think they need to be treated as separate problems, and because I think they all have their different solutions. So the social media thing is very difficult to control unless the social media companies are willing to do something and change. And Twitter have already come out and said that they won't do that because their belief is that everyone should have their freedom of speech and anonymity, whatever that word is. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine to a certain extent, but then when the people are coming on and racially abusing people and players, that's when Twitter needs to step in. And I don't understand why people just aren't made to give a valid ID or limit themselves to an account or whatever. I get they can still have their freedom of speech. They can pretty much still say what they want to say within reason, obviously. But I don't get why it's so important. And as far as players racially abusing players, obviously it's not on, and it's something that we don't like to see. But I think it's very difficult because at the end of the day, and I'm not condoning it, but it is at the end of the day a player's word against a player's word, unless it's heard by someone else on the pitch.
I think you have to assume that a player isn't just going to make that up.
No, yeah, I get that, but then there's this whole innocent until proven guilty thing.
Yeah, it's a very difficult subject.
Like I said, it is a very. Like I said, I don't condone it whatsoever, but it is not an easy subject to just be. It's not as straightforward as that.
No, it's like the only way you can get around it is if you make all the players wear small microphones or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, in regards to that, there's no proven way of saying this happened.
And I'm not denying it didn't, and I'm not saying that he didn't.
No,
and,
of course not.
And I don't want it to seem like that is what I'm saying. I'm just getting the point across that in this day and age, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Of course not. I just don't think the multinationals are going to accuse somebody of that full well knowing if they are truly under the impression that they want to kick it out completely. I don't see those type of players lying in such a manner, and then going and then walking off a pitch. I don't see that happening if he's lied.
No, I agree.
I suppose there could be a language thing potentially, because of obviously however many languages there is throughout football and on one pitch at one time. But I think we all can just sort of say from the player's reaction does pretty much tell the story most of the time, although it's difficult to prove. It's just frustrating, and it's been just a regular constant throughout this whole season, and we're pretty much at the back end of it now. And we're not just seeing it in the UK. We're obviously now seeing it abroad, and it's just, we're not going to get too political on the show. It's nice to sort of just have a bit of a chat about it, and until we sort of see things move forward, it's only going to continue, unfortunately. Not that we want to see that, and we really hope it doesn't. And sort of our hearts go out to all those players who are feeling it.
But I do think, as unpleasant a topic it is to talk about, and we obviously don't want to be focusing on that on this podcast, but I do think it's an important topic to bring up.
You say about Obviously, social media making people accountable. Would it be different if they were part of a terrorist group posting different types of stuff? Technically, it's no real difference. Still breaking the law to some degree. Just think there's different situations. I probably get that there is thousands of accounts out there doing it daily, so it's difficult to do. But surely there's something they can do to step it up in some way to show their unification with the issue. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
Yeah. On a good note, on La Liga, Sociedad won their first trophy in a while.
Yeah, beat Bilbao in the El Copa del Rey. Bilbao's first final of 2, so fingers crossed for a couple of weeks' time for them.
Yeah, it'd be nice for them to get one.
Did you see their captain? When the rest of the team went into
Yeah.
the changing room, he stood out and clapped them when they lifted the trophy.
Yeah, Munain. Yeah.
Munain.
What a legend.
Again,
stood there.
Fair play to the bloke.
Yeah.
Classy act.
Yeah, we just touched on something that is completely atrocious, and now we're just going to touch on something that is just truly what we want the younger people to be seeing. He stood there alone. He's proud of his team that's gone to the final. Of course, he's inside. He wants to be crying in the dressing room, but he's a football man and he's a Bilbao man, and he's showing the club what it means to him. And if needs be, he'll do it alone. So what an absolute gentleman.
Great sportsmanship. Good for David Silva as well.
Yeah. I think there was a stat that City hadn't won something for 30 years. David Silva come in and they win the cheeky little cup. So our mate Nacho Monreal's in there.
Good old Natch.
Solid left back.
They've had a pretty good season, though, Sociedad, haven't they? So
Yeah, they've done well.
It's good for them to end it with a trophy, regardless of how the rest of the league goes.
That's getting quite tasty at the top of that league.
Yeah. Madrid, Atletico lost, didn't they?
Lost again last night, yeah.
Ooh. I haven't looked at the table recently, to be fair, but
The Barca are 0-0 at half time at the moment. If they win, they go 1 point behind Atletico.
miss having La Liga on Sky.
Yeah.
You can't watch it anywhere, can you?
Well, it's on that Premier Sports, isn't it?
You can have that on your package.
Yeah.
We touched on the small technical area of our predictions, which you were mentioning, but that was an interesting game as well. Sort of blew the title right open.
Yeah.
Our little Lille. How many times have you been once to Lille, haven't you, Brett?
Is it once or twice? Once, I think.
I've been 4 times now, so I got a little soft spot for him.
I've been twice.
I've got a little soft spot for him now. You didn't come to PSG with us, though, did you? You weren't there for that one.
No.
I mean, I remember I didn't see a goal for the first 2 games I went there. They're both 0-0 until the 90th minute when I was walking out the stadium.
You
and had
missed
to watch
it.
it on the screen.
Wait. Can't go to another country to watch a game and leave early.
Oh, we did.
Well, you can when your last train home. You got to get it, and you don't want to be stuck in traffic for 2 hours.
Well, that's poorly planned.
Well, it's one of those things when it's a night game, mate.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I did see it on the screen, but it didn't count. It was only the 3rd time when I actually started seeing goals. And I cannot wait to go there again. And I hope I get to go when they're League One champions. But, yes, it's a great result. Don't get me wrong. There's still a long way to go.
Yeah, they've been making small little steps, haven't they, in the last few seasons? And obviously they've sold players, and Arsenal are accountable for that. But yeah, they sort of went off the boil, didn't they? Like a few years back, and now they're back in there, a bit like Monaco, come and go. But yeah, even Poch is throwing that title away.
Well, I don't think they've thrown it away yet.
Lille have got 1 hard game left, I would say.
Yeah, but in that league, mate, you get like the game before they beat PSG, they lost to Nims at home.
Yeah.
So Nims are 18th in the league. So you don't know what to expect.
Maybe 2 hard games, because I've just seen they've got RC Lens, who are 5th, believe it or not.
Yeah, they got a good result with Lyon, the draw at the weekend.
Oh, nice.
But that's close to us as well, so I want to be going there when we can go to games as well.
Why not?
Apparently they're like the Liverpool of France. Their support is amazing, so we'll see. But yeah, apparently so. So I've been told. Well, you haven't got the same sources I've got, mate. So yeah, but imagine Lille go on to do it. Is it really, with the games they've got, the only thing that's going to stop them is their bottle. And they didn't bottle it against PSG the other day. So who knows? It'll be amazing.
You know what fell up a scene as well? Is Neymar just being a complete and utter idiot when PSG can't handle the big time?
I was just about to say Neymar threw his toys out the pram again.
It's just his immature mentality. He's like Arsenal's. He literally cannot handle it. He's still the guy's supposed to be upcoming, if not the best in the world currently, which we can all argue whenever. But whenever there's a big game and they're frustrated or they're losing, there's always that option that he is just gonna blow his casket off, and as he did, just show his immaturity. And I just think he's a big player for them, and if that's how they want to do it, they're not going to get anywhere.
Has he signed a new contract with them, or is he?
Don't think so recently, is he? Was that last year maybe?
No, I don't know.
I don't know if that was recently.
Because I know he keeps getting linked with a move away.
Yeah, but it happens every year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? You say this about Neymar, and he struggles in the big games, whatever. But I went to Lille PSG last season, and he was phenomenal. He was different class, and apart from Messi, he's probably the best footballer I've seen in person. Literally, he was so good, but he lets himself down, doesn't he? Too often.
Yeah. Oh, the guy's unbelievable for blood. It's the same as when Messi come and when they played Spurs. Like everyone who could have got the opportunity went, and fair play. And he's one of those people that if the World Cup ever comes this way, you definitely want to try and see him. I mean, I don't think that'll happen in this time, unfortunately, in our times. But yeah, it just shows too much about a person, a footballer, that's happening. But the guy is so talented at football, and unfortunately, isn't always the case, and it isn't always overshone by the mistakes that he does make.
No, I've just seen that he has agreed a deal in principle to sign a new contract, apparently.
Yeah, but why would he want to leave when he knows he's going to get paid better there than probably anywhere else?
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially like clubs in Spain that are struggling with the money. I mean, I'm guessing PSG probably haven't loved COVID too much, but they've just got so much money from their owners that it's not affected them as much as it has Barcelona, etc. So he's probably better off staying there, getting a nice contract, knowing that he's going to be safe for the next 5 years, getting paid hundreds of thousands a week.
Barca are going to sign Haaland, though, aren't they?
Are they? There's so much in the media about Haaland. Like the newest one is Haaland's definitely going to play for Madrid, and Odegaard has to stay. But then you see he's going to sign for Barca. Like you just don't know what's going to happen with him yet. Spain is looking likely though.
And then Mayola's just coming over to the UK to have a chat.
I want to see him in the Prem.
Oh, I'd love to, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. But
I think he'll go to La Liga.
Barca don't have the money though. They need a massive overhaul to afford any type of big time player.
They need to get rid of Messi, don't they?
Well,
City have ruled themselves out of getting Messi. So where's he going to go? Like America? He's probably a bit too good to go over there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think Emery could afford him.
But then he's saying, I'll sign for Barca if you get Aguero. So
yeah, I can see
there's
that.
a lot of interesting transfers on the horizon for sure.
Yeah, I could do it. I could see Man City going for Harry Kane.
Oh, mate. I want him to get Haaland. He's born in England. He's destined for the Premier League, surely. We all want to see it.
Do you think Harry Kane stays a man's man, or does he go?
It's hard to see. Like, the bloke's too talented to not win trophies. I know Brett will disagree with that and says he's not great, but he is quality. He's top quality. He's good enough to win trophies. He's one of the best finishers in the world.
He's going to win PFA Player of the Year, right?
Sorry?
Win the Player of the Year, do you think?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think the guy's awesome, and I don't like to say that. But his finish against Newcastle, if that happens at the Euros, I'm going mental because
Brett won't. Brett will be sulking in the corner.
Sipping another Jack Daniels.
He will get a golf clap.
While we're running around throwing beer in there.
He is a world-class finisher, and that is it.
He is a world-class finisher, and he likes to play really deep now as well. He's a bit like Rooney,
Why?
isn't he?
Why? He's pretending like he's a footballer.
He just wants to be. He just wants to be the best of everything, doesn't he?
Saying that though, he's got the most assists this season as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a class act, mate. I know he's Tottenham, and that's why you don't like him. But right then, you know, if they somehow get the Champions League, which I really don't see happening, then maybe he stays. But does he really want to be playing Thursdays again? Not so sure. He hasn't he's at his prime now.
He can lead us to Euros glory if he likes.
He won't.
He'll be playing defensive midfield alongside Calvin Phillips, while Sterling and Rashford are banging in the goals.
Blimey.
I saw like he was like right in centre midfield, like defensive midfield position, like was passing the ball around, and I was thinking, "You're on number 9. What are you doing?" He must get bored when he's not getting service. That he just needs to be involved.
I'd love to see Jack Grealish and Harry Kane play together.
Well, if the media have got anything to go by, you might not get to see that.
No, I'm surprised Sky Sports sort of released that. You'd think they'd be a little bit cautious in what they release and in terms of what Gareth Southgate is or isn't going to do, but I suppose they'll sell anything for a bit of money.
Especially with it's the class of the two players that you're mentioning. Like they're on different levels. Them two, their class.
Yeah.
Like if you saw their name in the starting 11, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, why is Sancho starting? Why is Grealish starting?" You'd be like, "Okay, fair enough. You know they've been good for their clubs and they've got talent." You may prefer to see others, but you're not going to be like for instance, if Declan Rice was on the bench and Phillips started, everyone would be like, "Well, that's ridiculous." But you wouldn't be like that if Grealish or Sancho are in the starting 11, would you? Because you know what they can bring.
Yeah, Rashford, Sterling, yeah, got options. So
We've got so many options. It's great.
Champions League is back this week, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, Champions League, Europa League.
Oh, God.
Chance for us to bounce back.
We are home.
You are going out to Slavia Prague, aren't you?
Home at 8 o'clock.
All right, Champions League. We've spoken about Europa.
I can't wait for Thursday night. I've got my fishing rod at the ready, just in case. Now, in all seriousness, I hope you beat them, but it's going to be one of them games where you make a really silly mistake and then you win it, and then Brett's like, "Oh, where are you laughing now?" And I'm like, "Well, that was hilarious. What just happened?" It's great for me as a neutral because I'm not bothered who wins. It's just funny to wind you boys up.
What game are we going to watch tomorrow? Liverpool City?
Probably Madrid, Liverpool.
I'm probably going to watch City Dortmund.
Is that because you think?
I think it'd be a better game.
Yeah, but we all know Liam likes to see English teams do well in Europe. So he's going to watch City because he thinks they've got more chance of beating Dortmund than Liverpool or Madrid, maybe.
No, I got going Wednesday night Chelsea.
I think they'll both go through. Wednesday night, I'm watching PSG Bayern, sorry.
Again, another opportunity for Neymar to throw his toys at the pram.
I might watch Porto Chelsea. I think it's going to be a classic.
That would be good to have it back so we can discuss that on the next
Plenty
show,
more
definitely.
to talk about, yeah.
I do want to mention something, though, while we're on Champions League. I've had a request from one of our listeners. And he's requested for Brett to explain why Liam is a closet Tottenham fan. Like, Brett, can you elaborate? Because I wasn't involved in the conversation, but I need to know why a Gooner also supports Spurs.
Why is it related to Champions League?
Because it was about a Champions League semi-final that they were in.
Exactly. It's completely related to that.
Far away.
So, 2 seasons ago, Spurs were unfortunately in a situation they managed to somehow fluke their way to a UEFA Champions League semi-final, and they were playing Ajax.
Oh, I remember that. That was quite an interesting game, actually, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I do believe it was the second leg, just about to be the second leg, and Liverpool had already got through to the final, I believe. And Liam, being an Arsenal fan, turned around to me and says, "It'd be quite nice, actually, to have an all-English final." I said, "Sorry."
He said that. You didn't say that, Liam. Come on.
I would prefer an all-English final, whereas I think he quoted to me.
Yep. Yeah, I still stand by my case.
And as an Arsenal fan, that just flabbergasted me.
You don't want to see that, surely.
No, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm an Arsenal fan first and foremost, and second of all, I'm a fan of any team playing Tottenham.
So I think that we understand when you're sat at home watching the football, Freddie celebrates, you celebrate. We can understand that. But when he's not in the room and Tottenham are playing Ajax, did you celebrate?
Oh, I was on the phone to our resident David Tyler, FaceTime. We were well happy in our Spurs pyjamas.
Don't surprise me. What's your side of the story, though? Because like our viewers obviously are interested in why you think it's acceptable to
I'm not sure
support
it's our viewers. I'm not even sure somebody said this.
They did.
I mean, coming from your sources.
I just need to know, man. I need clarification.
Yeah, I don't need to clarify anything towards you and your sources. Yeah, it was pretty much what Brett would say, slightly maybe over elaborated to some degree, but take it on the chin.
Over elaborated.
I would still, as I said, I would
Did
still.
you want them in the final, or did you not?
I was just about to say, I would still stand by it. I couldn't care who it is. I'm not bitter. I mean, if it was Man United, I probably wouldn't have said it, but.
I believe that's even worse.
Oh, mate, Liam was definitely doing cartwheels around his living room when Lamella did the Rabona. What a goal!
I would like to know if Liverpool were in the final and Arsenal were playing some foreign team in a semi-final, second leg, whether our Spurs viewers would prefer Arsenal to win or the foreign team. And I bet the answer isn't Arsenal.
I would never be cheering them on in a Champions League semi-final.
To confirm, there was no cheering.
You said you're on FaceTime with your Spurs pyjamas, and you'll be like, "Oh, it's just banter." It's like, no, I believe you. I actually genuinely believe that's what you did.
You believe that? If you want to come and tuck me in later with me slippers, come.
All right, no, I think it's now time to end the podcast. We're going
it's getting a bit too far. That. Where's that mute button for Liam?
Good night,
Have you enjoyed it this week, gents?
No, it's been really good.
Love talking about football with you boys. Especially when Arsenal get absolutely turned over inside out. It's great.
Do you want to be muted again? Right, on that note, guys, thanks again for listening. And we'll see you again next week.
Good night, everyone. Get involved in the predictions, don't forget. See if any of you can beat me this week. I think I'm up for a good one this week.